Welcome to day 253 of the 22 for 22 challenge. Since I started shooting these videos 253 days ago, 6,325 of my veteran brothers and sisters have already committed suicide, or as I like to say, been systemically murdered. You see, we're stuck in the system that, while it is designed to care for us, does not. So I had a great day today. Spent the day down at Trader's World, selling toys. It was a beautiful day. I was selling happiness in a box. It's hard to be upset on days like that. And while I didn't sell as much as I personally would have liked to, and I was standing in for somebody else at their booth, so I was, selling for a friend, and I had the opportunity to talk to a lot of people because, sales weren't really all that big, so I had to, hustle and talk to people, help them decide to want to buy. And it's a fairly easy thing to do, which, all the more reason why I'm upset that I didn't sell more. Anyways, what I did end up doing was talking to a lot of veterans, which was pretty cool. I talked to a Vietnam veteran from the Army, and a few that I didn't talk too much to, so I couldn't tell you what part or when they served or whatever. And I talked to a young kid that was over in Iraq in 2012, which is cool because I like hearing about the places that I was at and how they're so much better than they were. And that's fairly common. Every Iraq vet that I talk to that has been over there after we were there describes it as a much better place than when we were there. But this kid he's only been out of the Marines for about 2 years, and he was having a ton of difficulty with the VA system because he was going through Cincinnati's VA. Now, I love talking about how terrible the VA system is because it really is terrible, for one, and two, a lot of people don't really understand exactly how bad it is. So he was, and I talk about the Dayton VA fairly often, but the Cincinnati VA, oh my God, is it terrible. Oh, it is just absolutely awful down in the Cincinnati VA. I know from firsthand experience, and I know from everyone I've ever talked to. Anyone that's been to the Cincinnati VA will tell you it is just awful. And this kid was he was going through the process through that, and even he realized within the first year how bad they were, and he started going to another clinic in another state. He's willing to drive to another state so that he doesn't have to go to the Cincinnati VA. If that doesn't tell you how terrible the Cincinnati VA is, I don't know what does. Because can you imagine going to a doctor for a while and going, oh, well, he's pretty terrible, I'll go see somebody else. But your options are limited to only out-of-state doctors. I think most civilians would probably be pretty upset about that. Pretty furious, to be honest. And since I already knew the Cincinnati VA was just the worst, it was not that much of a surprise to me. But to most people who do not know, especially with veterans that are coming back that just got out of the military, that don't have health insurance, they don't have the option to go to a private doctor, their choices are extremely limited. There's the Cincinnati VA, which is terrible. There's the Dayton VA, which is surprisingly not that bad. But outside of that, you have to drive to another state to find the next nearest VA facility. That is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm not talking this facility was in Kentucky, just over the border. No. As a matter of fact, it wasn't even in Kentucky. He went to Indiana. Now, if you know the layout of Ohio, you know Cincinnati is down at the south part of Ohio, and it's easy to get across the border. However, getting to Indiana is a little bit more of a drive, and that's how willing veterans are to not get treated terribly. We are literally willing to drive to another state to get the proper care that we need. Friends, I don't want to say that the VA system as a whole is just completely useless, but it's pretty damn close. It's getting to the point where we may have to scrap the whole thing and start all over from the beginning, because what we have is just so bad that it's killing us around 20 to 30 veterans a day. Please, please, I need your help. I need you to hit that share button. I need you to start writing representatives, because they aren't listening to us. Now, with that in mind, I'm going to do 25 more push-ups for 25 more dead veterans and 25 more broken families. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. As always, I will be here again tomorrow, the next day, and forever until all of our veteran issues have been addressed.